when I saw the Innovation Challenge, I encouraged Paul to enter it with his team because I think what he could do was make a real difference on the island. And again, he became a finalist, and then the islands opened up to him, and this is where we are. So, Paul, over to you to explain what the adaptive classroom is.
Thank you. So, with the adaptive classroom, it is quite it's a unique approach, and it is a first. A big part of it is regard to mental health. Mental health is not just shaped by the people on the programs, but it's also shaped by the environments that we work in and study. And that's where the adaptive classroom really comes into its own. It reimagines education as a preventative model for well-being. It does combine the neuroscience-led informed design with restorative practice training, really to create a space that heals rather than harms. The installation took place in October half term.
And you've spoken about creating a space where every child feels like they belong. What sort of design elements help to achieve that?
Well, it is unique. I think if you were to see the adaptive classroom, it's not like your traditional rows of tables and plastic chairs. It is about choice. There is different settings within the classroom. So a big part of that is the shaped tables, the carousel it's called. But there's soft seating elements in there with laptop tables, height adjustable tables as well, so the children can go to the place that they feel will help them benefit and help them work within the class.
And Brendon, what convinced you that the adaptive classroom concept was the right fit for, in this case, Scoill Yn Jubilee as the pilot location?
Well, that wasn't really my choice. I mean, that was put out to all the schools on the island to put themselves forward to take part in this. And Jubilee jumped at the chance, and that's why they were chosen for this pilot. Paul's had an immense welcome to the Isle of Man.
I think with regard to the Jubilee school coming on board, there was quite a few schools who were interested in the pilot scheme. And lots of schools are doing fantastic stuff. We just felt that Jubilee School were the ones who would maybe benefit most from our expertise in the adaptive classroom. Like Brendan said, the very heartwarming, we felt from the parents and the people on the island. They've really helped with the installation of the classroom and also donating plants and some of the soft furnishings to go within the classroom as well. So it's been a really exciting time for us on the island.
I'd say it's a real community project which has been pulled together with everyone within the community of the school.
And this project moves away from kind of behaviour-led classrooms. What was the thinking behind that shift, and what outcomes do you hope to see there?
I think a big part of this, the design of a classroom hasn't changed since Victorian times. And there's evidence there that that doesn't work. And we all know that doesn't work. It doesn't work within a commercial setting, and it definitely doesn't work within education. We're trying to be a thought leader within the education sector. And by working with the Isle of Man and Jubilee School, we are really transforming that classroom. It is innovation. Lots of schools will see this classroom and be very interested to see how this pilot scheme runs. It's not just the environment, it's also with the restorative training that comes along with that. A lot of design is also trauma-informed design. But it's things as the flooring colour, the wall colours, the lighting, all these things come together, combine to create the adaptive classroom.
And you're working with consultants in psychology and well-being as well as design. Is that tricky to almost balance aesthetics with the evidence about how children learn and feel safe?
That's the exciting part, and that's the part that makes us different as well. We are working together as a community to create this classroom. We all do our own things individually to make a difference, but it's only by combining our knowledge and research. That's the unique thing, everyone coming together to create this classroom.
Brendon, I'll come back to you. If the pilot is successful, what do you hope the long-term impact will be on educational approaches across all island schools, perhaps?
I hope that the pilot's successful, and I hope there's a strategic plan to roll this out across all the schools on the island. The education is the bedrock of how we get our economic development through. We've got to bring the best people through on the island and give them the best opportunities. And there's a lot of neurodiverse people within classrooms. Like myself, I'm dyslexic, who, my experience at school, I left school at 16, I was excluded, and I had to get out on my own and make my own way. What we want to do is help everyone have the same chance of success and help them to grow and thrive, and utilize their neurodiverse skills as a superpower. A lot of entrepreneurs are dyslexics, and they're the ones we've got to capture earlier and give them the right environment for them to get the best experience out of schools and out of their school life. So I'm really, really emotionally driven by this because, if it can help help a child get to their full potential, that's what it's all about for me.
Yeah.
And final thoughts, I'll throw this one out to both of you. Once the space is installed and is fully up and running, what will you be looking for to kind of judge whether the pilot has genuinely improved pupils' experience?
So, along with the installation of the furniture and the painting of the walls and the new flooring that's gone in, we've done a lot of work with the notice boards as well. That's a unique approach as well to try and change how notice boards are used within a classroom. The training also starts with the teachers and with the students from a restorative point of view. We're gathering data on this over a 12-month period. Hopefully the data will prove that changing the environment along with the training has a positive impact on the school's results, behaviour, exclusion, and being happy within the school environment, not just the students, but also the teachers.
Brendon, if I can just pick up on something you said. You said you were dyslexic, you had a bit of a tough time at school as well. Do you feel as if you had this adaptive classroom, you might have done a bit better in terms of from a school perspective, I suppose?
I'd like to think I would. And again, we're talking 40 odd years ago since I was at school. So it's a long time ago. I just remember those days where, I'll use the term the class clown, because, it was a difficult time. It was different. I got the answers far too quick, and they marked me down for not showing the working out, but the answers were right, and it was really, really, really frustrating. But anyway, that was a long time ago. I'm all about the future now. How can I help the next generation achieve their full potential? That's what it's all about.
Yeah. I think just to add to that as well, for the students, ideally they work on a classroom table, but some students feel more comfortable to sit on a sofa with a laptop table. If that works for them, they still do their work. We should encourage that. They shouldn't be forced to sit on a plastic chair on a table. If the work still gets done and they're comfortable, that's what it's important. It's empowering the children to make their choice as well. That's a big part of the adaptive classroom.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the other things there, you just give me a flashback. When we had the plastic chairs with the metal bars, because you fidgeted it a bit, because that was your one of your neurodiverse bits you needed to move. What you created was more static, and then you get electric shocks off the chair. But that was back in the day, and as you say, Paul, nothing's changed much.
And I think you've just reminded me of something as well. You'll find that a lot of children can't sit still, so they wobble. So schools are giving them wobble cushions. So it's an inflatable cushion that sits on the chair, which encourages the student to move. But they're only given to the students who feel that they need them. But it then circles them out as being different. Really, they should be on a chair that encourages movement. All the chairs should be the same, not circling out one student to have the wobble cushion. Again, the adaptive classroom is built for everyone.
And do you feel as if, I know that when I was in school, there were these kind of little devices that you would put on your pen if people couldn't hold their pens properly. And in some ways, that almost encouraged people to hold their pen differently to be able to get hold of the accessory.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure that all the students are treated equally within the classroom, not to be treated differently. They all should have the same chair, but that encourages movement and flex. Also with a height adjustable footrest on the chair, which helps with the proprioception of the children. For the ones who need that, it works for them. It's a big change. I think a lot of schools aren't aware what is available from the education sector. A lot of them order the same things time and time again. The adaptive classroom is a unique approach to show the education schools that things are different. There's lots of choice out there now. Hopefully this just gives them the direction and the ideas that's needed.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.